These are so similar. I'm having a really difficult time picking a favorite.
I'm having a really tough time.
Welcome to the channel, bringing a real-world perspective to the real-world whiskey consumer.
To give you the most honest, unbiased opinions possible, we're going to randomly select one of these unknown matchups from our double-blind sample pool and taste them totally at random. We'll give each glass a tasting score, and then you'll see us give each glass a real-world score, which takes into account the pricing availability and whether we would buy or recommend it once we find out what we're drinking. All right, let's run our randomizer and see which one of these pairs we're tasting today.
11.
So 9, 10, 11.
10, 11.
Cool.
Right?
We'll get these poured and be right back with our first impressions on both glasses. All right, glass 1 on the nose.
So for me, this is traditional, like classic bourbon smells.
Man, it is that, but there's like a fruity sweetness to this that is so pleasant.
Maybe. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet with it.
Okay.
Give me some time.
You're only on first base with this one?
I'm only on first base, so we need some more time together.
Yeah, to me, it is classic bourbon, but there's a little bit of a fruity sweetness. I'm trying to pin down what it is, but it seems to lean like, man, it's almost like a little bit of a powdered sugar note, lightly, and then almost over the top of some apples or something. I can get like an apple juice vibe to this, or
I could get
like
apple
a sugary,
juice.
like a sugary fruit juice to the nose.
I could get apple juice. You could convince me to get apple juice, yeah.
Okay, let's get into the palate.
Oh wow, this kind of has like a red vines taste.
Yeah, I can see that. I was going towards like an artificial fruity sweetness, more in like the juice vein, but I can see red vines.
Yeah, I like red vines though.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like red vines in my whiskey, but overall, just FYI, I do like red vines.
Yeah, red vines and Twizzlers, y'all can keep all that. I don't want any part of it.
Those are so good.
No.
I like red vines and Twizzlers.
This to me kind of took me to like a high C, or like a fruit punch type of vibe, like Hawaiian punch.
Can we do one more sip?
Yeah, let's get another sip.
I used to have a strawberry shortcake little like hard action figurine almost, and her cap smelled. That taste was what that cap smelled like.
Yeah.
If you guys remember strawberry shortcake dolls from like the 80s.
Yeah, of course you do. Who wouldn't? But to me, this is all front to mid palate. There's very little oak on the back end. It's very simple. It's very sweet. I would put this right in the wheelhouse of like an easy summer sipper, although I'm not sure. There's like a little bit of sharpness there, maybe from youth or something like that, that might actually kind of disqualify it for newbies. Like they might not find that so pleasant.
Perhaps, yeah.
But to me, it's good, but it's good for what it is, I should say.
Okay.
But it's fairly simple. It's fairly easy to drink. Generally sweet. I like it. Yeah. Good pour. We need to get into glass 2 to see how it compares. So let's see.
Right off the bat, this smells a little darker than glass 1.
Yeah, there's more vanilla anchoring this down a little bit, but also Nilla wafers. And bananas.
Don't
like
say
a banana
Nilla
pudding.
wafers, because I have a soft spot in my heart for Nilla wafers.
Okay. I'm trying.
You're like poisoning the well here, because
that's what I smell on this.
Automatically, this is gonna make me like this one.
Yeah,
I love Nilla wafers.
Is pushing right into banana pudding territory with some Nilla wafers in there.
I love banana pudding. Oh my gosh.
That's just what I'm getting on the nose. Let's find out what we got on the palate.
Okay. Wow. I'm getting a strawberry shortcake vibe on this one too. Like not strawberry shortcake, the actual thing. Strawberry shortcake, like the doll. That
really?
It's like an artificial strawberry flavor.
There's an artificial fruitiness on this one as well. But to me, the first one was kind of like an appley, like an apple juicy artificial sweetness. This is definitely more in the strawberry vein. They're both bright and fruity. I tend to like stuff that's a little bit more dark personally.
Yeah.
But glass 2 came through
Taste it one more time.
Yeah, we will. But I'm just saying glass 2 to me came through with that bright fruitiness as well. They're both fairly simple, at least on first blush. Let's get into second sip.
Okay. I'm gonna take some time with both of these because they taste similar, but they smell different to me.
Yeah. So Glass 2, to me, we have some chewy sprees in the house.
We do.
Thanks to Barry Hawk sending us a massive bag of them, because that's just what he does. But I like to get a handful of them, like the yellow and the green and the red and the purple and the orange, and I put them all in my mouth, like a few of each color, and there's like this flavor conglomeration going on, and that's what Glass 2 tastes like.
Okay, I think we should test this theory.
Yeah, it's not as dark as Sprees, like it's a little bit more bright than that, but it's kind of falling into that sugary candy wheelhouse. All right, we're going to spend some time with these. We're also going to eat some Sprees. We'll be back with our scores for both pours after this. After spending some time with both of these pours, how did they compare to you?
This was a difficult one.
It was very difficult.
I'm not going to lie. So the more I smelled them, the more I tasted them, the more they tasted the same. There were some slight differences.
Yeah.
It's funny because I have a preference on the nose and then I have a different preference on the flavor.
That happens, yeah.
So I don't know how they compared because I liked the nose on one better than I liked the nose on the other, and the flavor on one better than I liked on the other.
Which nose did you like better and which flavor did you like
better?
I
liked the nose on Glass 2 better and the flavor of Glass 1 better.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So if you had to pick one of these two, which one would you pick?
Probably one, because the tasting is like
the flavor's where it's at. Yeah,
the flavor is it's weighted a little heavier than the nose for me.
Yeah, same for me. To me, these were a toss up as well. I like them both, but total disclosure or total honesty, transparency, whatever you want to call it, I like them both, but they're not my profile.
Okay.
Like I tend to like darker, richer pours.
Yeah.
These are much more on the fruity side.
Yeah, these aren't my profile either.
Yeah. So
to be honest.
They're good. I said that Glass 1 was kind of like what popped into my mind was like those Fun Dip things.
Yeah.
But you know the white stick that goes in it?
I love the white stick.
That's what one reminded me of.
Okay.
But then like you took the white stick and you dipped it in the Fun Dip and you stirred all the flavors of Fun Dip around. But then you diluted it.
You mixed Fun Dip flavors?
No, I never did. But that's what Glass 1 tastes like. I said diluted Fun Dip mixed together and then aged in oak. Because it's got a little bit of oak to it, but not much. And then Glass 2, I said, again, that vanilla wafers, banana pudding. And then it also started to remind me of like when you would go to the soda fountain, mix together all the different flavors growing up. And you even mix in a little bit of diet. There's a little bit of that on the finish.
I did that.
You didn't do that?
No.
What planet are you from? Anyways.
Planet Earth.
Okay. So.
The planet of I like what I like and I drink that.
Yeah. They really were a flip of the coin for me. Neither one I would reach for very often. And which one I reach for on any given day would really depend on my mood. Like Glass 2 to me is more of like an outside daytime hot weather sipper. Glass 1 is a little bit more anytime, but you know, it's really hard to say. Let's get into our scores. Where are you at on Glass 1?
Okay, so Glass 1 for me, it gets a thumbs up across the board, honestly. It's thumbs up on nose. It was a good nose.
Yeah.
Thumbs up on flavor. It was a good flavor. Now, I will say with the flavor, there was like an artificial strawberry note that I got on Glass 1. While it wasn't off-putting, it's not like in my wheelhouse, so it gets a thumbs up, but if you don't like that, then stay away.
Yeah.
And then it gets a thumbs up on experience.
Okay, for me, Glass 1's going to get a thumbs up on the nose, thumbs up on the flavor, just okay on the experience. Is a little thinner, a little bit more simpler than I'd prefer. I mean, I can kind of take it or leave it as far as that goes. Let's get into Glass 2. Where are you at on your scores?
Okay, so for Glass 2, I give it 2 thumbs up on the nose.
Wow.
So for me, real quick.
Did I influence you with vanilla wafers?
No, you didn't. It smelled very similar to Glass 1, but it just kind of had like a powdered sugar topper. And I really liked that a lot.
Yeah.
So it gets 2 thumbs up on the nose. It gets just okay on the flavor though, because like I said, I preferred the flavor of Glass 1 because Glass 2 had more of an artificial taste to me.
Okay.
But it gets a thumbs up on overall experience because I did enjoy it. It wasn't bad. I wouldn't be offended by it. So that's where I'm at.
Yep. I'm going to go thumbs up on the nose on Glass 2, thumbs up on the flavor, just okay on the experience. Same scores I gave to glass 1. Again, these are a flip of the coin. Very similar, slightly different in profile, but man, I cannot wait to find out what these are.
Yeah, this was a hard one for us.
It was. We're going to find out how much these cost first, then find out what we've been sipping. So in our blind sample pool, glass number 1 is number 61, and glass number 2 is number 62. So the price on glass number 1.
Okay. It's $50.
Okay. It's fairly simple. I'd like it more at 40 personally, but 50's kind of the limit. I'm not super mad at it. 62. Glass number 2.
$30.
Oh, that changes some things.
Yeah.
Does it? That's good for a $30 pourer. All right, let's find out what these are. Glass number 1 is
E.H. Taylor Small Batch.
What is 62?
Cooper's Craft Barrel Reserve.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that makes sense.
Does it?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know. Are any of these allocated? I'm guessing E.H. Taylor.
Yeah.
I've been around the scene long enough to know I'm picking up on like names that are allocated. So E.H. Taylor is allocated.
Okay.
Cooper's Craft is not?
Yeah. So funny enough, when I very first smelled glass 1, I don't try to think about what we're drinking, but I said, this kind of reminds me of E.H. Taylor Small Batch on the nose. Come to find out, that's what it is. But
yeah. You say that.
Okay. E.H. Taylor, yes, it's hard to get your hands on. It's $50. It should be $40, I think. Okay. But I've never seen it under $50. We paid $50 for this bottle. Some markets mark it up to $60, $70, $80, $100. You kind of have to have a hookup or be in the right place at the right time to get your hands on it. Okay. Whereas Cooper's Craft Barrel Reserve 100 proof is available not in every market, but in a lot of markets.
Okay.
So with that said, this is a very interesting comparison because they're both, when I put this in here, I said, okay, they're both fruity sweet.
They are.
They're both 100 proof.
They are.
One is much more readily available and more inexpensive than the other. Mm-hmm. Let's compare them and see, double blind, if E.H. Taylor really stands out. Cooper's Craft put up a heck of a fight tonight.
They were so close. Like, and again, it was like, I liked one for nose, one for flavor. And you liked them kind of the same.
I like the nose and the flavor on both of them. It's just the experience on both is just not to my preference.
Probably because it's 100 proof. They're 100 proof.
It's not just the proof though. It's there's this simplicity and this lack of anything on the back end. Yeah. Like even low proof pours with age will have a little bit of oak on the finish, and both of these are just missing everything on the back of the palate.
I agree. I agree
with like that. It's not even there. Like it goes front and mid tongue, and then it like you say, peace out Brussels sprout.
Peace
like
out.
It's out. So I just want a little bit more from both of these. They're both good. Like I said, summertime sipper categories, but not something I'm going to be reaching for a ton. Our reward scores are based on the blind tasting as well as the retail and consumer scores. Retail being the retail side of the equation, price and availability. Consumer scores being we as consumers, would we buy it or recommend you buy it?
And we get our real world scores by adding up the thumbs you see on the screen.
There are 10 possible points available, but this is not your everyday 10-point scoring system.
No, our scoring system is more like a bell curve.
If something gets thumbs up across the board, that would be 5 points. That means we like it. We think it represents good value for the money. Mm-hmm. That 4 to 6 range is kind of the catch-all. And then as you get beyond that on the lower high end, that becomes like the low value items or the high value items, as it were. With that said, let's get into our retail, consumer, and real world scores for glass 1. Where are you at on E.H. Taylor Small Batch?
Okay, so I'm giving it just okay on retail score. The price is fine if you can find it. So the price helps it. The lack of availability hurts it. So it gets it just okay total.
Yeah. I'm in the same spot, and I originally started at a thumbs down because I think anything you need a hookup to get or you got to drop everything to run across town to get should be a thumbs down. But the price is good if you can get it at 40 or $50, which is what it should be priced at. If it's any more than $50, I'm a thumbs down. But at $50, I'm going to give it a just okay. That said, you walk into a store and it's sitting on a shelf in front of you for $50. Are you buying it?
I'm not a hard pass.
Okay.
but I'm not a definite yes, so I'm just okay. Because the flavor profile is not in my particular wheelhouse. We talked about this off camera. Yeah. I like a little more herbal, like herbalness. So I'm just okay.
Yeah. Okay. And that puts your real world score at?
A 4 out of 10.
Okay. For me, I'm going to say thumbs up on consumer score. Honestly, if this were a product that just sat on shelves all the time, it would be a just okay for me too. It's something I might grab in a bar.
Interesting.
But I probably, or maybe wouldn't buy a bottle. But because it is so limited, if I see one for $50, I'm going to buy it because I like to have one around. So thumbs up on that. That puts my real world score at a 4 out of 10 for E.H. Taylor Small Batch, which I feel is pretty appropriate for how I feel about that bottle non-blind. Let's get into Cooper's Craft Barrel Reserve 100 proof. Where are you at? Retail, consumer, and real world.
So the retail score for me is a thumbs up. Good availability, great price, thumbs up.
Yeah, I think for what you're getting, it's hard to argue with a thumbs up here. So I'm in the same spot. Thumbs up. Price, great. Availability, solid.
Good in our market, product. Like you said, it's not available in every market, but in the markets that it's in, it's available.
Yeah, and it's only going to continue to be more available in other markets as time goes on. With that said, you walk into a store and you see Cooper's Craft sitting in front of you for $30, $33. Are you buying a bottle?
Probably. Thumbs up. So there's like an artificial fruit flavor that it's not totally in my wheelhouse, but you said it's like a good summer sipper.
Yeah.
And for $30, I think it'd be a nice little change up.
Yeah. And this is going to be funny for me. I did give it a thumbs up on retail because I think the price and availability is good. But for consumer score, I'm going to give it a just okay, which is where I said E.H. Taylor would rank for me if it were sitting on shelves. Cooper's Craft is sitting on shelves, and I'm giving it a just okay. That's because fair. To me, these are very comparable. These scored the same for me because I think they're pretty much a flip of the coin based on what you think flavor profile wise.
I think they are very similar. Yeah. I think, like for me, I really enjoyed the nose of the Cooper's Craft more than I enjoyed the flavor of it. And I enjoyed the flavor of the E.H. Taylor more than I enjoyed the nose of it. So it is a flip of a coin. Like they're similar, a little different, but mostly similar.
And your real world score reflects the higher value of the lower proof point and also the ease of availability in Cooper's Craft.
For me, ease of availability weighs very heavily.
Yeah.
I place a very high value on that. So that's going to show in my scores.
I think that about wraps this part of the video up. I mean, if you find either one of these and you've never had them and you find Cooper's Craft for $30, $33, you find E.H. Taylor for $50, they're both worth trying. I don't necessarily think that either one of these is worth overpaying for, personally speaking.
I agree.
Yeah. I can't imagine paying $100 for an E.H. Taylor small batch, tasting that and being happy with the money that I spent. But again, we're not here to tell you guys how to spend your money. We just want to tell you how we're going to spend ours, and hopefully that is informative to you. And with that, we're going to wrap this up till next time. Cheers.
Those tasted very similar, but smelled very different.
This smell, I don't want to say what I think this smells like.
Don't say it.
I don't even like to think about it, but I'm saying, like, get all the colors. And we're going to dump them out for you. You're making a mess now, girl.
Well, I'll clean it up. So I don't like to do it like this. I like to have like the yellows together and the reds together. Because I like to appreciate the different flavors together. So I have to eat them all at the same time. So I'm just gonna do one of each color, and then eat them all together.
Yeah.
I've never done this before.
It's like old school. When you go to the soda fountain, and you get all the different flavors.
There's too much candy in my mouth.
At first, yeah, but when you chew it up. Like the flavor at the end, when you're pretty much done with it all, that's the flavor you get there.
Okay. Here.
It took everything I had not to put that in my mouth. All right. We got to really clear our palates out here.
No, I'm tasting both of them now. Like back to back after that. Like they're on the same.
I need some pretzels or something.
Tasting palate. There's pretzels down there.
Yeah, I need something like neutral. Crackers, pretzels.
We have pretzels down there.
Man, pretzels slap.
That bag is really salty. It's really good.
Yeah, they are.
I've had pretzel nachos like twice this week.
Roll Gold can suck it. Kroger pretzels are where it's at.
Kroger pretzels are amazing. Their saltiness level is like top notch. That little cheese on top, little sour cream, some salsa. You got yourself some pretzel nachos. It's been my lunch like 2 days this week. So good.
Here's the problem with pretzels. They get all up in your teeth.
They do?
They don't yours?
I just chew on the back.
But they're all, like, they're everywhere.
I don't think I've felt that way about them before.
I felt that way about pretzels my entire life.
Oh.
We're living two different parallel experiences.
Are they parallel if they're so different?
What dimension are you from?
I'm from the upside down. Hey Siri, what does it mean if you crave salt all the time?
Here's an answer from the Mayo Clinic. Excessive salt craving may indicate an underlying medical condition, such as Addison's disease.
I might have a disease.
What is Addison?
Hey Siri, what's Addison's disease?
Addison's disease, also known as primary adrenal insufficiency, is a rare long-term endocrine disorder characterized by inadequate production of the steroid hormones cortisol and aldosterone by the two outer layers of the cells of the adrenal glands, causing adrenal insufficiency. Do you want me to keep reading?
You better get your aldosterone and adrenaline in
check. Do I have adrenal gland issues?
This is why you don't WebMD anything.
What was Wikipedia? It wasn't a WebMD.
It does. It's the same thing. Just don't Google your medical stuff.
I think I just need to go get my blood tested.
Go to a doctor.
Okay, I'll do that. Also, I still like salt.